can't believe that my Owen is going to be getting married to someone like you. Good evening, Carla. I know that I'm going to be new to the family, but I hope that I can get along with all of you. I don't see there being any way you'll get along with the rest of us here. I'm thinking that your marriage to my son is going to end up worse than how you think it started. And I would like for you to not even think of me as your mother-in-law when you come around me. Because I sure don't think of you as my daughter-in-law. What? What are you talking about? I'm saying that I do not like the fact that you're marrying my son. I decided that I don't like your marriage today, as a matter of fact. You did? I can understand you being a little uneasy about it, but the wedding is going to be next weekend. Why are you only telling me now that you're against me being married to Owen? I have no reason to be letting my son, of all people, become married to some poor woman like you. What? Did you just call me a poor woman? Like someone that doesn't have a whole lot of money kind of poor? I'm sure you only want to be married to him for his money, right? I've told Owen already to give you up. But that boy isn't bothering to listen to me about any of it. Even still, I'm not going to let the two of you be married for long. It's not too late yet, so I want you to give up on your marriage to him. How does that sound? I'm not going to give up on being Owen's wife. I'm not sure where you're coming from calling me poor. Since when did I ever seem like the kind of person that doesn't have a whole lot of money? If you're worried about something like that, then please relax and know that you don't have to be worried. And you think there's a good enough reason for me to calm down right now? I cannot allow you to continue asking my son for his money. You think I'm asking him for money? Where are you hearing about all of this from? I'm sure you already know the answer to all of that. I think before your wedding with Owen, you should take the time to sit back and think things through again. Because I am most definitely not going to allow you to have that wedding. Goodbye now. I have no idea what you're going on about right now. I'm going to have a word with Owen about all of this. I just had a small conversation with your mom, and she has this idea that for some reason I'm not well off. Did something happen with her to make her think that about me? She was also talking about how I've been borrowing money from you. I'm really not sure where she heard about that from.
I see. My mom is always the type that lets her imagination run wild and really get to her. I think she's just a little confused is all. Perhaps having her one and only son leaving the house after becoming married is really starting to get to her. And because of that, she started to overthink things too much, and that's led to her believing things that aren't true.
So that's what all of this is about? Well, that makes a lot of sense now. I understand how it must feel to have only one child. I'm the same way to my parents, as they stopped after only having me.
But your house happens to be completely different from the house I've been raised in. I'm actually so very happy to have become so close to you and your family, and I'm excited to see them again at the wedding!
What do you mean my family is different from yours? I'm not really sure why you're happy, but I'm glad you're happy being around my parents. So this means we can go on with having the wedding next weekend and won't have to make any changes to it? I wonder if your mom is doing okay. Do you think I should say anything to her about it?
No, you can just leave her be. Let me take care of her and her wild imagination. I'm already used to her and all this crap she has going on, so I can manage it somehow.
I see. Then please and thank you. I would really like for everyone to get along with one another by the time of the wedding, as it would make everything a lot more fun for us. Have you come around to realizing what I've been saying this whole time? I'm happy I waited to come here around the same time you did in order to get you like that. You're never to come around my son and I again, you moneyless whore. Do you understand me? Did you really just go through with punching me in the gut over your thoughts of me not having any money? What the hell is going on inside that head of yours? I never thought that you'd become so bad that you'd resort to violence with me. This is the first time in my life that I've ever had to meet someone as off-putting as you. I'm not going to let you get away with something like that. Go ahead and say whatever you'd like about me. I just want to make sure that this wedding is canceled before it gets started. I'm sure it's not going to be happening now, though, right? You actually thought I'd let my son marry a poor woman like you? I am really shocked by this, Carla. To think that you'd get so upset like that without ever actually coming around to understanding the person I am and what my position is. You're the one who appears to not understand a thing about us. Well, if me having punched you in the gut of yours has taught you anything, it should be about the kind of person you really are to us. So give up. Never come around my son again. I am never going to let a parasite that wants to feed off my son's money have any of it. And I am not going to allow this wedding to go on anymore as his mother. Cancel all of this right now. Is that really what you want me to do? Of course it is. And you're going to cancel it whether you agree with me or not. I'll find a way to get this whole event canceled. Well, you don't have to do that, as I fully understand what you want now. I'll handle the wedding and have it canceled for all of us. So please, just stay away from me as I go and do my thing. I'll be making sure all those that are already here know to go home, and then we won't have to disappoint any more of our guests today. And as for Owen, I'm no longer going to be bothering with him. I don't want to see you ever again, Carla, so this wedding is off. Are you happy with all that? If you can do all that for me, then I'll forgive you for ever laying your filthy hands on my boy. Tell him he's no longer your husband and cancel all of this. And never appear in front of our faces ever again. Understood. I am completely fine with all that. And just to make sure he never talks to you again, I'm going to have him block you on his phone. Actually, better yet, could you be so kind as to block him on your phone as well? I don't want you to even talk with him anymore, because the next time you do, I'm not going to be as calm as I've been today. Understood. I will do everything and all that you ask me to do. But can you promise me one thing before I go? What is it? Never come around me again yourself, you awful criminal! What did you just call me? Now I'll be going. Have a good one, Carla. Hey, why aren't you answering your phone right now? You have been getting calls from both me and my son all day long. Hurry up and answer one of us right now. I have no reason to be talking to you both anymore. You told me to block Owen's number on my phone, right? So I did just that and haven't noticed any calls coming from him. This is what you wanted me to do, right? This is not about any of that. This is about me making a huge mistake. Is that right? Did you finally go and listen to what your son has been saying to you? That's probably why you're freaking out right now and have been trying to get in touch with me again. You learned about who I really am. Owen has always known about who I am, but you never seemed to care like he did. He and I have been doing our best to hide the real me in order to protect myself and the wedding. But recently, things with you have been really out of control, haven't they? Well, you were finally told by Owen who I really am, and that happens to be the daughter of a very wealthy CEO. So, he really wasn't lying to me. Why did you guys choose to never tell me the truth? Had one of you just told me sooner, then I would have never started calling you some moneyless whore like before. The reason I didn't tell you is in order to keep those that try and come after my family's money away. Keep them away? But if you had told me about your true position sooner, things like yesterday would have never happened between us. What do you mean by things like yesterday? You're telling me that if you knew I was the daughter of a CEO, you would have never punched me in the stomach? Oh, that's right! Is that so? So then what you're telling me is that in your mind, it's okay to go around punching the poor? Gotcha. You are one hell of a monster, Carla. You don't have to sit there calling me a monster. It's rude. Well, now that I've had time to talk with both you and Owen, there's no longer a misunderstanding between all of us. Do you think you guys can have your wedding next weekend? Excuse me? What the hell are you going on about now? Well, yesterday we had that wedding of yours canceled without any thought. But now that I've had a chance to learn about the real you, I think you and Owen can have that wedding next week. How does that sound to you? What are you talking about? Owen and I are not together anymore. I did everything you asked me to, and I blocked Owen for good. Well, that's not a problem, though. You can unblock him now and get back to being a couple. I would really like to think of you as my own daughter now, so please start talking to him again. What? Your behavior has done a 180, and now you want me back together with Owen again? What do you want out of all this? Let me tell you something, Carla. Your son was the one who wanted to be married to me for my money. Owen wanted you for your money? I had made sure to hide a lot of things from everyone about my family. But he went ahead and took a delve into my family himself. And after seeing that my family happens to have a lot of money, he went wild and started spending all the money he had on things he never really needed, thinking I'd be there to bring in the money after the wedding. After he learned that I'm the daughter of a CEO, he wanted the two of us getting married as soon as possible. Well, I found out about all that not too long ago, and I am pissed. Well, your wedding being canceled and all that has really pissed Owen off as well. He's so upset with everything right now that I can't manage to calm him down any. He even came after me, his own mother, and hit me, causing me to feel some real pain. So please, Stacy, you're the only one who can stop my son from going on this rampage after losing his wedding. Please don't tell me that you don't want to be married to him anymore. Geez, you both are complete idiots. What? I have nothing to do with any of that now, and you were the one that wanted the wedding canceled in the first place, right? I was just being kind and obeyed your commands yesterday. You should be thankful that I listened to you and everything went to plan. But this is not at all what I had planned on. I was confused at the time and didn't know a thing about the real you, Stacy. And at the time, I had really wanted to be married to him as well, but things started to feel off about things with him. And before I knew it, I could tell that he wasn't with me out of the love he had for me, but something else. But after having you go on and on about how I was the one wanting to marry him for his money and later punching me in the gut over it, I realized what was really going on. I'm going now. Wait a second, Stacy. I made a big mistake. I made a terrible mistake and started to just assume you had no money. And because of that terrible mistake, you assaulted me. Perhaps the apple really doesn't fall that far from the tree then. I assumed that all that money that my son was having to pay was because of you and not him. I'm his mother, and I never wanted to believe that it was my own son who was going out and recklessly spending his money. But I know the truth now very well. He's been the one spending all the money. And he was hiding all that from me as well. Luckily, though, one of my dad's employees found out about his debt. I am so sorry for asking you to cancel your wedding like that yesterday night. But now that we're all open about things and know the truth, let's have that wedding for real this time. You said that you're the daughter of a CEO who's very well off, so having a second wedding should be a piece of cake, right? Do you think you can hurry all this up and put together another wedding for you and Owen? What kind of games are you trying to play with me today? What? How many times am I going to have to say this in order for you to understand me? Things between Owen and I are over. Things are over? What the hell do you mean, though? I'd like to ask you a lot about that as well. What the hell do you mean with all of that crap? Owen and I are finished. It's over. He and I are no longer a thing anymore. The wedding was canceled yesterday, and he and I are no longer going to be married. No way. Oh, were you and him not going to get married to one another over the feelings you both had? We had planned on being married based off our love for each other, but those feelings I had for him are long gone now. All because of you, Carla. That wedding was supposed to be a huge deal for my family, and my dad was putting in $100,000 to make sure it was perfect for Owen and I. What? But because you wanted it canceled so badly that you would punch me, it went bye-bye. Isn't that wonderful? Wait, $100,000 for that wedding? What the hell? Do weddings like that really cost that kind of ridiculous amount of money? Well, they do when you're the one and only daughter of a very successful CEO. He thought that was the perfect amount to spend on my wedding. But my dad was against me getting married to Owen for a long time before the wedding came about, so I'm a bit surprised myself that he was willing to spend that much. At first, he would always get on about me finding myself a better man, but no matter how much he tried to turn me away from Owen, I wanted to be married to him. Owen was the man for me, and I wanted to be his wife. But in the end, we learned a lot about you and him, and things changed. I really should have listened to my dad a bit more and gave up on Owen. But it's all in the past now. I think quite the opposite, actually. I think that Owen would be the perfect man for you. I think you being married to him would be the best thing for everyone. Well, whether you want me to be with him now or not, you were the one that ruined the chances of me ever being his wife. I'm glad that things ended up this way for everyone. So, you're being serious about not marrying my son then? And you're saying it's all because of me? You might think of it as being your fault, but I'm thankful for what you did. I've been trying to apologize to you for all that, though, about what happened yesterday. I am so sorry. I'm asking you to please marry my son for me now. If you don't take him as your husband, who knows what he's going to do to me? Well, I couldn't care less what he has in store for you. And hearing that he's being violent towards you really makes it so that I don't want to be around you both. What a joke of a man he is, being violent with his own mother like that. One other thing. Since you were the one that wanted the wedding canceled, and it was, in the end, for your sake, there is going to be a fee. Canceling a wedding doesn't come free of charge, so someone's going to have to pay up. What? There's a cancellation fee? And all of that, you're going to have to pay for. And there will also be the money I get from you for assaulting me yesterday as well. Wait a second. How much more are you going to make me suffer for all of yesterday? Well, I'm not doing all of this in order to make you suffer or anything. I just want you to have to think about everything you've done to me yesterday on my wedding day. Do you think what I've been telling you has all been wrong or something? Am I not allowed to fight back at you after you punched me in the gut? You're not wrong about anything, but don't you think you're going a bit too far with all of it? I'm just acting in a way I find perfectly fine after what's happened to me. And since you did assault me, the police are going to have to get involved in handling that. I hope you're ready for when they come looking for you. Stacy, calm down, please. I'm so very sorry about all of that. Just calm down now and think all of this through again. I'm very calm right now. And this is all the outcome of me thinking about it with a level head. Perhaps you should have been thinking a bit more yourself before you acted out. And so, with all of that, I'd like for you to have your son back, you moneyless idiot. In the end, the relationship between Owen and I really did come to an end. And in his anger because of it, Owen went ahead and forced his mom to have to pay for all the things he bought. A little while after that, I was introduced to a very outgoing man who my dad set me up with to make sure he wouldn't be into me for my money. We are planning to get married really soon and move into a house that we'll be buying with our savings instead of relying on all my dad's money for it. Unlike the life I'll be living now in happiness, Carla has been left with a lot of money that she now owes to many different people. And it seems the only hope she has for herself now is to find a job and start working for the rest of her life. I think she really should have thought her actions through a bit more before acting on them, but it's too late for anything like that now. I just hope that with this new road she's going to be on, there is no more physical fighting between her and her son.
Mia? What's this about you coming to visit this weekend? I don't remember giving my permission for you to come. What do you even want? This isn't a holiday coming up, so there's no reason for you to lounge around my house. Don't you understand that you are just a stranger? You can't just pop by every time you feel like it. You should be more considerate about other people's convenience, you know. Stranger? I get that you don't like me, but I've been married to Tom for 3 years now. You could at least accept that I'm your daughter-in-law. Anyway, it's not like I decided that I wanted to visit either. I already know that my presence bothers you, so if I could avoid going, I would. I'm just visiting because I've been invited to come. And it would be rude to keep on declining. Can't we at least be civil for the sake of the loved ones around us? Tom says that he wants to watch the baseball game with his dad, and I'm just tagging along because Ted wants to see me too. Is it really that big a deal? I would understand the overreaction if I was bothering you every weekend, but I've tried to keep my distance in my own way, and I've only gone to visit when Ted really insists that I come see you both. Even then, you still make a fuss about how I'm being so selfish and how I'm in the way. In the first place, I don't understand why you hate me so much and what I've done wrong. I've tried to be as sympathetic as possible, but to be honest, it's getting really tiring.
The problem is that you don't know your place. I don't like the fact that you act as though you're part of our family when you come to visit, even though you don't belong here. You need to be more aware of the fact that you are just a stranger. And yet you come to my house, eat the food I've prepared as though it's all a matter of course. Even though the food I have made is meant for family, not for outsiders like you. It annoys me to no end that you think you can waltz and lounge around my house as though it's your own. I don't understand the nerve. How on earth your parents raised you, I have no idea. But they've clearly failed to raise you into a responsible and considerate adult. I wish I could give them a tip or two about how they should have brought you up, but even if I did that, it's much too late. No amount of discipline can change your horrible attitude now.
I think it's weirder that you refuse to accept me as part of your family, even though I'm married to your son. I thought marriage was supposed to bring people, two families, together. Not make me feel as though I'm unworthy of being treated equally. What do you expect me to do? I've offered to help out with the cooking before, but you refuse to let me touch anything as though I'm contaminated or something. So what should I try next? Bring my own packed lunch when we're supposed to be having a family dinner? Should I sit on the floor instead of sitting at the table when we're eating? If that'll please you, I'd be happy to do so. It'd be a lot easier to do all those things instead of having to suffer the silent treatment and glares you give me. But I'm sure that doing those things will raise a lot of eyebrows among the other family members that are attending, and Ted is much too kind to let me do any of that. So I think your only choice is to accept that I'm family and try to get along with me like I've been trying to do with you. Let's be civil, for Tom and Ted's sake.
Why can't you understand that your defiant attitude is the problem? You're always so sarcastic and bossy, and it gets on my nerves. You need to show more respect towards your elders, especially to the mother of your own husband.
If we're talking about sarcastic and bossy, I think you'd win by a mile.
That's the attitude I'm talking about. You should listen to yourself speak. I've never met someone with so much cheek. On top of that, you're always turning up with Tom and getting in the way of our family time. Why can't you let him come home to visit by himself and leave us in peace? Don't you feel guilty for coming between a mother and her son? Honestly, the way you act tells me that the only thing you think about is yourself. You are a selfish woman, and I knew it was a mistake to let Tom marry you.
I know that you don't want me visiting, so I try and avoid going as much as I can, too. But whenever I say that I can't make it to a dinner or a gathering, Ted always offers to change the date to one that's more convenient for me, saying that he wants everyone included. If you want me to stop coming, I hope you understand that you'll have to explain why I can't come to your husband first. Unlike you, he actually treats me like an actual daughter and wants to see all of us together. The more I say no to Ted, the more he worries that I don't feel welcome, which is actually true, but of course, I don't have the heart to tell that to his face. He's not the reason why I don't feel like I belong with you at all. And Melissa is a great little sister. She is the best sister-in-law I could have ever hoped for, and she seems like she's really fond of me too. I consider you all an important part of my life with Tom, and I want to spend time with Ted and Melissa too.
I don't see why there's a problem with me visiting every now and again. I'm telling you that you're not just visiting my home. You're getting in the way of my quality time with my family. You should be more aware of the trouble you're causing us. You're just a stranger, so don't act so friendly with my husband and daughter. You can't seriously think that they actually like you. They just say all those things because they have to keep up appearances. You don't even understand that, do you? So you think that you can barge your way into my home on the weekend? Don't make me repeat myself. You don't belong here. You've got nerve, thinking that you have the right to invade our personal space. I understand that you really aren't listening to anything I say. And don't even care to try. If you really don't want me visiting your home this weekend, I'll try and figure out a way to avoid it. I'll have to talk to Tom, and he'll most likely be disappointed that I can't come with him. But I'll find a way for him to visit without me going with him. He was saying that he might want to drink while watching the game, so I was going to go with him so I could drive him home, but I guess that's out of the question. Don't talk about him like he's a child. He can get there without your help. And of course he can drink all he wants. He was living here until he left for university, and his room is still available for him to sleep in. He can stay the night. This is Tom's home, not yours. It's a matter of course for him to come home, but there's no space for you to stay. I don't care what excuse you make, but I don't want you coming here. I don't remember giving birth to you, so I have no obligation to treat you like a daughter. You may be married to Tom, but that doesn't make any difference. I never liked you, and don't plan on trying. My son deserves much better, so if anything, he should just stay here where he belongs, not with you. I don't remember being raised by someone so overbearing either. I understand that you love Tom, but I love him too, and he chose to marry me, so you should respect his wishes too. I think that includes wanting us to get along. I don't care about your reasoning. Tom clearly isn't thinking straight if he's chosen to spend the rest of his life with a woman like you. Anyway, I don't want you coming this weekend, but don't you dare talk to my husband behind my back. You'll regret it. How am I supposed to explain the reason why I can't come if I don't talk to him? You don't have to tell him. Just don't turn up. It's that simple. I don't know what you did to make him like you so much, but I'm sure that doing something like that will make it easier for him to realize that he made a mistake to trust you. It's been annoying seeing how doting he is of you, and I wish he would see that you're no good for Tom. I don't want you saying a word to Ted about anything I've said. I'm warning you. It'll be a pain if he starts thinking that I'm bullying you, or being mean when I'm just trying to fix that warped personality of yours. I think anyone would agree that you're bullying me if they saw this conversation. What did you say? I have done my best with you, and you dare say that I'm bullying you? You're such an ungrateful young woman. Really, what does Tom see in you? No, it's nothing. I know that you're doing your best. Anyway, I'll talk to Tom about this weekend, so please don't get that upset. I won't talk to Ted either, and I'll have Tom give him an excuse for why I'm not with him. I understand that it's difficult for you to like me, but I'm trying my best to get on with you as well. Tom wishes we could be closer, but if we could at least accept each other's importance to him, I think it could be easier. Well, I'll have Tom let you know what happens. You know the trip to your parents' house we were planning for this weekend? I think I'll pass after all.
Huh? But I thought we already decided we would go together. Why did you change your mind all of a sudden? Did something come up at work? If it's not work, could you reschedule whatever it is for another day? I already told my dad that you're coming, so I can't tell him that you changed your mind. You know that he's really fond of you, and he'll be really disappointed if he hears you can't come this time either. And you know that it's important we see them this weekend.
I know he is. And I'm really happy that he's always so generous towards me. He and your sister always make me feel like I've actually joined your family, and I love them like my own family too. It's not work. It's just that your mom found out that I'm coming with you. And she started messaging me again. Your mom doesn't make any effort to change, even though I'm doing my best to be really patient with her. I think it's best to just keep my distance and let her have her territory. It's pretty obvious that I'm not wanted there, and I can't enjoy myself, let alone relax, if she's always so cold towards me. I want to get on better with her, but no matter what I do or say, she's always so critical and finds a problem to complain about. It's worse that she gets so jealous about me talking with Ted and Mel so normally.
Don't let her bother you so much. You've got all of us backing you up if she ever crosses the line. And besides, she's all bark and no bite. At the very least, she's been pretending to get along with you when you're with all of us, hasn't she? She cares too much about appearances to make a fuss in front of Dad.
Yeah, that's true. She's always making nasty comments when she messages me, but her personality changes completely when I meet her in person. It really makes me feel uneasy. And it makes it even more difficult to show you how horrible she really is to me. It's like it's all just my imagination until we leave and she starts messaging me about the things she must have been bursting to complain about.
You can always show me your conversations, you know? It'll make it easier for me to tell her to stop if I know exactly what she's saying to you. I don't know what she always messages you about, but she must just be craving attention. I know that you've already spent a lot of time trying to get to know her and find something you have in common, but she probably needs more time to accept that she doesn't have me to herself. She was always really overprotective of me, and now that she's feeling lonely, she's probably taking it out on you. That's not your fault, and it's wrong of her to do that. So if she does say anything when we go this weekend, tell me. I'll stop her, and won't let her say anything to you. So don't worry. You don't even have to talk to her. You can spend the day with me and Dad, and Mel will be there in the evening, so you can have her stick with you too. Also, I was hoping that we could take it easy and have a few drinks, so we might end up spending the night. Do you think you'll be okay with that?
What? You want to spend the night? No way! Even if there was a 1 in a million chance I'd be okay with it, there's no way your mom would be. Tom, I don't want to stay the night. I can already imagine the mood she'll be in the morning, and the way she'll grumble about the crease on my PJs, or that I used too much toothpaste, or that I didn't wake up early enough to help with making breakfast. I can't get anything right with her.
Please, Mia, I'm begging you. It's the first game of the season, and I don't want to miss it. Dad and I have been looking forward to this for months. I want to watch until the end, and I'll be drinking, so I can't drive us home. It'll be easier to just stay the night. Please? I won't make you come with me the next time I go to visit. You just have to visit this time, so we can give them the news.
I'll go. But I'll drive us home. That's what I always end up doing anyway. This time is no different to every other visit we've made.
You know why I don't want to make you do that. You'll be just as tired as I'll be. Maybe even more because of my mom's attitude, and because you're moving around for 2. Plus, the game might continue until late, and by the time it's over, it'll be pitch black outside. I don't want to risk anything, especially not now. You understand that, right?
Yeah, I know why you're worried. I don't want to risk anything either. Alright, then will you promise me this? If your mom starts picking a fight, will you please come between us? I don't think I can handle any more stress from her. Even if I try and ignore her, she just starts name-calling and accusing me of being disrespectful. So you've got to stop her before I actually lose my temper with her.
Of course I won't. Leave it all to me. Even if she's my mom, I can't let her keep on hurting your feelings like this. She's got to understand that you deserve her respect too.
Thank you, honey. If you're that sure, then I'll trust you and I'll just focus on announcing the news on Sunday morning.
Are you an idiot? What the hell is wrong with you?
I think that's my line. I can't believe you would do something so stupid. I always thought that the way you were so two-faced towards me was off, but I never thought you would go this far. I hope you understand that I am never going back to your house ever again. I never want to see your face. I'm going home. Go home for all I care. I'm glad you finally understand. You were never welcome here in the first place. There's no place for you here. Not for a woman like you, who thinks that she can use this house like it's her own home. You've got the audacity to lounge around my house. Who do you think you are? You better leave while my husband and son are still watching the game on TV. Honestly, there's something wrong with you. How you can walk around like you own the place is beyond me. Excuse me? You're the one that's got something wrong with her. Do you even realize what you've done? What did you say? How dare you speak to me like that? I deserve respect. I am your husband's mother. You can't talk to me like that. Take that back right now. Respect? You think you deserve respect after the way you've treated me these past few years? After what you've done tonight? Respect is something that everyone deserves. But you don't even want to respect that your son chose to marry me. You don't even treat me like you should treat any acquaintance, even though we're supposed to be family. All I did tonight was try and use the bath, and you got mad and punched me in the stomach. You think I owe you respect? All you get is a restraining order with an attitude like that. There's something wrong with the sense of entitlement you have, and it's clear to anyone that you're in the wrong here. Maybe you should calm down and think about what you've done, and you'll realize that you've messed up. While you're at it, why don't you think of an apology? If it's sincere enough, maybe I'll rethink the order. Oh, now you're showing your true colors. I let you talk, and all you do is insult me. Apology? Why should I be apologizing to you? I haven't done anything wrong. You're the one that tried using the bath in my house, even though you're a stranger, without permission. What's wrong with me stopping you? It's my house. Without permission? I only tried using the bath because Mel said I could use it before going to bed. I would never barge into someone else's bath without asking first. I was offered it. Also, I've used the bath in this house before, and you didn't make such a big deal out of it then. And stopping me? With your fist? You can't just ask me not to use your bathroom like an adult? I would have just gone to bed without a bath if you had asked nicely, since I'm not as childish as you are. But instead, you came into the bathroom when I was changing, grabbed at me, and punched me. What is the matter with you? I can only think that you've got some serious issues that you need to sort out. Have you ever considered taking anger management classes? Because I'd be really grateful if you could start taking them. If I had asked you not to use the bath, then it would make me seem like I was the bad person in that situation. You would have gone to complain to my son and husband that I was being mean to you and act like the victim. Don't you understand something that simple? You're completely at fault in this situation regardless. I can't believe you could have done something so unacceptable. I can't take dealing with you anymore. I've been really patient with you, Sophia. But you've been way too horrible and much too rude. I'm not going to take any more disrespect. I don't think anyone can blame me for being so angry. To be honest, I don't think anyone could blame me if I hit you back involuntarily. But unlike you, I don't believe violence is the answer. I want you to be able to understand that what you did was wrong, and I would never be able to do that if I had acted on impulse and stooped down to your level. Excuse me? I'm at fault. Even though you're the one that used my bath? How many times do I have to tell you that you're just a stranger in this house, and you don't get to use this house like the rest of us do? What's so bad about me disciplining you for not listening to what I said? You're like a dog that peed on the floor. You need to be taught a lesson. A dog? My God. You're going to regret ever having said that, and ever having punched me. What? Are you threatening me? What are you going to do? What on earth do you think you can do? I'm really pissed off right now, so you'd better not test me. I'm going to tell your entire family what you did. There's no way Tom or Ted or Melissa will want to stay with you after they hear what you've done. I'm going to get my revenge for the way you treated me, and you're going to be a very lonely old woman.
Oh, really? Try it. There's nothing you can hold against me. They're my family, and there's no way that they'll choose you over me. I came first. Ted's my husband, and Tom and Melissa are my children. They'll support what I did, and they won't ever side with a stranger like you. Do you know why? Because they're not your family. You're just a stranger. This is my house and my family. I come first.
You know what? I've had enough talking sense into you. I'm going home. But you better prepare yourself. I'm not going to forget about this, and I'm not going to let you get away with it. I've had enough of keeping quiet about the things you've said and done to me up until now. I thought it was best not to say anything so that it wouldn't ruin your relationship with Tom, but you've gone and blown it up yourself. When he finds out what you've done, you'll be sorry. I don't think we'll ever meet again. Goodbye.
Mia? Mia, answer me! You've got to come back. Where are you? Hurry up and get back here. Right now, Mia.
Would you please stop messaging me? I'm ignoring your messages for a reason, and ordering me around isn't going to help anything. I have no obligation to listen to anything you say to me. Actually, I never had any obligation to, so you should be thankful that I was so reasonable up until now. If you're going to complain about the stuff I left there, I'm going to go and collect it when I go to pick Tom up. So would you please give it a rest? I don't want to see you, and I don't even want to talk to you. So if you'll excuse me, I'm busy.
Wait, Mia, you've got to come back. You've got to come back right now, or I'll get kicked out. Stop pouting and get back here. Hurry up.
Why should I come back? You say that I'm pouting when I'm rightfully angry with you for punching me, and you have the nerve to think that you can order me around? Why should I do anything for you? You haven't even apologized for what you've done. As long as you think you haven't done anything wrong, I don't feel comfortable talking to you.
What? You expect me to apologize to you? For what? Why should I? You're the one that should be apologizing to me for making me the bad person.
Oh well, that's a shame. If you don't even want to try apologizing, there's no reason for me to come back. I guess it's difficult for someone as self-centered as you to understand when you've done something bad. Well, it's not like I would have forgiven you that easily after everything I've had to suffer. The best thing for me to do is just keep a distance and prioritize myself. I've got to put my physical and mental health first.
Who the hell do you think you are? You think I owe you an apology? And you say that you wouldn't have forgiven me anyway? Since when do I have to ask for your forgiveness? I'm your mother-in-law. You owe me respect. If I tell you to do something, you should shut up and do it. So shut up and come back right now. I'm ordering you. How many times do I have to tell you before you listen to me?
You're the one that told me to get out, remember? I was happy to do as you said then because I didn't even want to look at you, but now I don't have to listen to a word you say. I don't have to listen to anything you order me to do, especially if everything you say is contradictory. You contradicting yourself just shows how unreasonable and selfish you are, and I've had enough of it. I'm not coming back.
I know that I'm contradicting myself, but I really do need you to come back or I'm in a lot of trouble. You've got to help me, so come back. My husband's angry with me. He says that if I don't get you to come back, he'll kick me out. But why? I don't understand. Why is my husband siding with you? He should be agreeing with me. He's my husband. You must have seduced him. I know it. You're capable of doing something disgusting like that. It's the only way I can make sense of why he's so fond of you.
Seriously? How much more nonsense are you going to talk? First of all, when he said to get me to come back, I think he meant for you to apologize. Second of all, I have not seduced your husband. I think the main reason why he's so fond of me is because I've been helping to pay the loans on your house. And because Tom and Melissa also sided with me, too. What? I've been paying the loans for the house you've been living in. I think that means that it's pretty much my house. Though, of course, I don't want to think of it like that. I don't want Ted to feel that he owes me anything. But no matter how much I tell him that I don't want him to make a big deal out of it, he's too kind. I think that explains why he's always favoring me and wants to treat me to dinner at your house. That's why he treats me especially well, and why you might thought it was strange that he was favoring me. But I haven't seduced him. You should think a little more before making ridiculous accusations like that. What? You mean that you're the one that's been paying for the house? The house I'm living in? This house? Are you being serious? Ted had some problems with his business a year or so ago and was in a lot of debt. It was too much for him to handle the loans and the debt all by himself. So Tom and I spoke with him, and I offered to pay the loans on his behalf until he clears up his debt. He said that it would take a few years for him to pay back the debt, but he promised that he would pay me back. So it was decided that I would take over paying for your house. Ted himself insisted that I use your house as if it were my own home, and I think that's why he wants me to visit more often, so I can relax and put my feet up. Unfortunately, it's had the opposite effect. But he never told me that he had gotten into debt because of his business. Why wouldn't he have told me? I bet you're just lying to make me feel like I owe you that apology. Why should I believe you when Ted hasn't told me himself? I never knew anything about his business failing. I'm not lying to you. If you don't know anything about your husband's business, that's your problem. You've got to talk to Ted about that. Or maybe Ted felt that he couldn't tell you. I don't know. It just shows that there's a lack of trust in your relationship with your own husband. Oh, that reminds me. You were saying something about my parents not raising me properly earlier? Well, I'd like to say something more about that. I think you've met my parents before on several different occasions, and you know what kind of people they are and the work they do. You know that they own a company, and that I'm helping out with running it. I should let you know that they're the reason why I was able to help Ted out with his financial problems. You owe my parents just as much as Ted does, and yet you insulted them in their child-raising methods and insulted me. I would never hold this over Ted, but you've gone way too far with your attitude. I didn't know. Yeah, and I'm sure that your attitude wouldn't be any different towards me even if you did know. But regardless of what my parents have done for you, you should have never treated me like that. I just want you to know how much you've embarrassed Ted by acting like such a selfish child towards me, someone he feels he owes so much to. Do you finally understand why Ted's so angry with you? I don't blame him for making you apologize and ordering you to get me to come back to the house. I do. So will you please come back? Now he's angry about me punching you. He's been shouting at me why on earth I thought violence was the answer. He won't calm down, no matter how much I tried to explain what happened. Why does he even know about me punching you? He and Tom were watching the game when that happened. I thought he wouldn't realize. You thought it would be okay as long as he didn't realize? How naive can you get? I called Tom and told him what happened. You're going to answer for this. What? Why would you do something like that? Now it really does look like I'm the bad person here. Stop playing the victim and tell them what really happened. Tell them how you are flouncing about acting like you could do whatever you like in my house. All I did was punish you for that. I'm pregnant. Excuse me? I'm pregnant. You punched a pregnant woman in the stomach. That's why I left in a hurry, so that I could go to the hospital and see if everything was okay. Why wouldn't I call Tom and tell him what happened? Do you understand how serious this is? You're lucky that I didn't have to call him to tell him that I had a miscarriage. If I lost the baby, I would have come back to the house and torn you apart. But now I know everything's okay. I'm going to keep it that way. I'm not going anywhere near you. I didn't know that. How was I supposed to know? You never told us you were going to have a baby. It's not my fault. If I had known you were pregnant, I would have never punched you in the stomach. I swear! You've got to come back! But you would have punched me elsewhere, I guess. Whether I'm pregnant or not, you shouldn't have punched me. End of discussion. Tom and I were planning on announcing the news tomorrow morning after breakfast. That's why I thought I should endure the night to get the announcement over and done with, because we wanted to tell you all in person. But that's impossible with you. Punching me was your choice and your mistake. It's all your own responsibility, and you've got to pay for it. I wouldn't be surprised if Ted decided he wanted to have a divorce. Tom says that his dad is pretty upset, especially because he had to find out about his first grandchild like this. Ted would never ask me for a divorce. He wouldn't do that. We've been married for over 20 years. I know he's upset, but that's because he doesn't understand. If he listens to what I have to say, then he'll understand. He won't even look at me, and he keeps on moving rooms when I go near him. I'm just waiting for him to calm down before I try to talk to him again. Until then, would you just come back? I'm sure he'll be in a much better mood if he sees that I've managed to bring you back. It looks like this has all been a big misunderstanding, so if we could just talk this all through, I'm sure we can get along. Get along? Even though you won't apologize for punching me? I don't have anything to say to you. You're a danger to me and my baby. That's all I have to say. A danger? Mia, you're overreacting. I didn't know you were pregnant. I wouldn't have done anything if I knew. I don't care. Say all the excuses you want, but there's nothing that will make me change my mind. You should think about what you've done and think about how wrong it was for you to punch me, regardless of whether I was pregnant or not. I've tried a lot these past few years to talk things through, to just obediently do everything you say and keep my distance. But no matter what, it hasn't been enough to get you to accept that I married your son. I don't think that I have the time or energy to waste on you anymore. I'd rather put all of that into raising my baby into a person that respects other people. Up until now, you've done a good job of hiding your true nature from your son and husband, but now you revealed everything to them yourself. Now you'll just reap what you've sown. All the things that you've said to me, the chores you forced me to do and complained about, the insults, they're all going to come back to haunt you. Don't say that. We can talk about this. I'm sure that we can be good friends if we just try and meet each other halfway. You can't give up on having a good relationship with your mother-in-law like that. I didn't know you were pregnant, but I'm so happy to hear such good news. I want to hear more about the baby. When did you realize you were pregnant? When the doctor thinks it's due? Please, talk to me. And I'm grateful that you helped my husband when he needed it. I didn't know, but now I do. I'm aware that we owe you so much. I was wrong about you for being a terrible daughter-in-law, and I want us to get along. Please, this is all just a misunderstanding. I want us to be friends, so please, come back and let's start over. You can't just ignore me forever. I want to be part of your lives and to help take care of the baby when it's born. No, thank you. You don't have to be that stubborn. You've got to understand that I'm making an effort to reach out to you. And what about the effort I've made up until now? You didn't think much of that, did you? Besides, even Tom has had enough of you. Neither of us thought that you could go this far, so it's not his fault, but he's shocked and ashamed that you could have hit me like that. He's upset that he didn't realize before it happened, but now he's realized that he needs to make his priorities clear. He agrees that I shouldn't come back there. So stop messaging me. We don't want anything to do with you. I'm sorry. I really am. I'll apologize as much as you want me to, so please don't cut me out of your lives. You finally feel like apologizing? It's too little too late. That punch was the straw on the camel's back. Goodbye, Sophia. I don't want you coming near me or my family, and of course that means you can't meet your grandchild. But I guess you must be really glad that it turned out the way you wanted it to. Now we really are strangers.
In the end, Sophia not only lost the chance to bond with her daughter-in-law, but she also lost her own son, who announced that he wanted to cut ties with her.
She also lost her chance to meet her first grandchild. No matter how much she begged him, Tom refused to tell her when the baby was due, and he left his parents' house before she could ask anything more. Ted was furious that she hadn't apologized to Mia properly, and demanded a divorce. He was ashamed that she could have treated Mia so badly and criticized her for not making her feel welcome. He wouldn't listen when she cried and wailed at him to forgive her, and only said that as long as Mia couldn't forgive her, he didn't want to even look at her. Their daughter Melissa had heard everything that happened from her brother, and she was appalled that her mother could do something so low. She was told that she didn't deserve to stay in the house that Mia had paid for after the way she treated her, and ended up being kicked out of the house by both her husband and her daughter, and was told to never come back. The night she was kicked out of the house was the coldest night of the year, and she had nowhere else to go, so she used all the money she had on her to get to her son's house in the hope that she could talk to Mia again. When she turned up on their doorstep, they refused to let her in and told her to leave. She begged them to at least let her use their bath so that she could warm up after coming so far. But, unsurprisingly, their reply was negative. They both answered that they didn't want to let a stranger use their bath, and Sophia was shut out of their home. She cried and pleaded with them to open the door, but nobody would come. I don't know what she expected. It was her own fault for the way she behaved towards Mia, and crying wouldn't fix anything. The only thing Sophia could do now was reflect on her actions. As for Mia, the doctors let her know that the impact of the punch didn't have any effect on the baby, and assured her that the bruising she had would disappear in a few days. A few months later, she gave birth to a healthy, beautiful baby, and her family and Tom's family all celebrated the birth with dinner at Ted's house. Unfortunately for Sophia, the invitation to see the baby never came.
Amy, when are you coming to visit during summer vacation? Huh? I don't know. What? You haven't set a date yet? No. Sorry. I'll let you know. Ugh. You're so useless. Sorry, but, I'm not coming this year. It'll just be my husband, so maybe you should talk to him. What do you mean you're not coming? You can't just not show up. You're kidding, right? No, I'm serious. You said it yourself the last time I was there. What? You said you never wanted to see my face again. That doesn't matter. We're family now. It's really unfortunate. But just stop messing around and set a date. Do it now! No. You work me like a dog. This year, I want to relax, so... Seriously? You're a housewife. That's what you're supposed to do. Why did you marry my son, you? Ugh. Sorry. Amy, listen. You're his wife. You're supposed to help us. You know that, don't you? That's such an old way of thinking. What? We're not living in the 80s anymore. How dare you! I'm ashamed that my son married you. And you didn't even give birth to a boy! Yeah. Look, I'm not going. Deal with it. Rob said it was okay. He'd never say that! Stop lying! You're a liar! He said it himself. He hates it when we fight. All you ever do is talk back to me. Okay, but... just shut up, you useless piece of shit! Oh, wow. Whatever. I'm not going, so... You're his wife. You can't just not come. Your parents didn't teach you that? I guess not. Again, we're not in the 80s anymore. And I spend a lot of time with him, so... It's fine. What about Allie? She's coming, right? No. What? Why not? She's my granddaughter. You already forgot? Huh? When I got pregnant, you said you didn't want a girl. Yeah, but she's cute. I like her, okay? She kinda looks like Rob. I see. But the last time we were there, you kept asking me when I was gonna have a boy. You made her cry, you know. So no, she's not coming either. That's not my fault. And I never said I didn't want her around. Then stop saying those things out loud. Yeah, whatever. Just come home on summer vacation. Got it? No. We're not going. My daughter and I are going to see my parents. That's enough. You married my oldest son. You do as I say. Who's gonna cook for everyone, huh? Why don't you do it? You know how many people will be here? You expect me to do it all by myself? That's not my problem. Why don't you all go on vacation or something? Then you won't have to cook for them. It's tradition. You have to learn the ropes. I know you come from a poor family and all, but you have to learn. Whatever. By the way, my family and I are going on vacation together during summer. We're paying for everything. What? Oh, wow. So all you care about is your family. You're not gonna do anything for us. You're not family anymore. It's my money. I can do whatever I want with it. Your money? That's Rob's money. You just stay home all day. Stop leeching off my son. Actually, no, it's my money. Stop lying. You just stay home all day long. Like I said before, I work from home. So what? You probably make nothing. You just don't get it, do you? What? I run my own company. I do it all from home. Huh? I work with others using the internet. Wait, I thought you quit your job. Yeah, but that was years ago. We weren't even married at the time, LOL. I launched my own design company after that. I started working from home after I got pregnant. The company is doing quite well. You never told me that. That's because you always looked down on me for not going to college, and you never asked. And also, I'm not sure why you think my family is poor, but my dad is an executive at a construction company. What? You said he was a construction worker. No. I said he works for a construction company. You never listen, do you? So yeah, you don't have to worry about our family. We're doing quite well for ourselves, so... I can't wait for our summer vacation. Amy, there's been a misunderstanding. I'll pretend like none of this ever happened. Let's start over, shall we? We can talk about this during summer vacation. No, LOL. You're unbelievable. You know that? What? I already booked my flight. And I got work right after that, so I'm not going there. What do you mean? You work from home, right? Just bring your computer over or something. There's no signal there. You guys live in the middle of nowhere, so I can't work from there. Fine then. We'll meet you at the hotel. We'll join you. What about the other relatives? I'm sure they'll figure something out. Let's just spend some quality time as a family. I thought it was tradition, LOL. I'm always up to try new things. We'll meet you at the resort. If you want to come, sure, but you gotta make your own reservations, and I'm not paying for you, so... What? Why not? And it's a pretty popular hotel, so it's probably full by now. I knew some people, so they hooked me up, but I don't think you'll be able to get in. What? Don't push it. Just figure something out, okay? Let bygones be bygones. Seriously? All you ever did was harass me. My level of education, my family. You said you never wanted to see me again, and you made my daughter cry. So no, I don't think so. Look, I'm sorry, okay? I should have been nicer. Come on, let's go on vacation together. If you want to come, make the reservation yourself. Ask your son to help you out. Maybe he'll pay for you. Oh wait, he didn't get his bonus this summer, so... Forget I said anything, LOL. Please, Amy! We're family! What? Seriously? You said it yourself. We're not family anymore. LOL. But hey, no worries. I never considered you to be family in the first place, so... no worries. LOL. Don't ever contact me again. You're dead to me. Amy kept her word and went on vacation with her family that summer. Looks like she had a lot of fun. Her mother-in-law tried to book the hotel herself, but it was all full. Eventually, she gave up. When she heard that Amy and her family were planning to go abroad during winter holidays, she started begging her to take her with them. But Amy never replied to her.